Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Spider-Man producer Amy Pascal cried when Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige first suggested an MCU crossover. In recent years, there have been various disputes between Marvel and Sony over Spider-Man, given that the former owns the actual rights to the character, while the latter holds his film rights. The wall-crawling superhero first graced the silver screen in Sam Raimi's 2002 adaptation, portrayed by Tobey Maguire. Though his trilogy petered out towards the end, each installment was an undeniable success at the box office. After Raimi opted not to return for another installment, Sony decided to reboot the property with The Amazing Spider-Man in 2012 starring Andrew Garfield in the titular role. After the 2014 sequel was a disappointment, Sony was unsure where to take the franchise next, especially since they were planning multiple sequels and spin-offs centered on Venom and the Sinister Six. As a result, they allowed a new iteration of Spider-Man, portrayed by Tom Holland, to be introduced into the MCU in 2016's Captain America: Civil War. Now, the recently released book, The Story of Marvel Studios, The Making of the Marvel Cinematic Universe by Tara Bennett and Paul Terry, chronicles the famous meeting between Marvel boss Kevin Feige and Sony Pictures chairperson Amy Pascal, which led to Spider-Man joining the MCU. Feige came straight out and told Pascal that The Amazing Spider-Man 3 wasn't going to work and suggested, "Why don't you let us do it?" Which evoked an unexpected reaction from Pascal. She got emotional and threw Feige out of her office, though she eventually came around to his idea. Read an excerpt of the book below. "At first, I was super resentful," she admits. "Think I started crying and threw him out of my office, or threw a sandwich at him, I'm not sure which. Then she started to think it through. Be the fifth Spider-Man movie, we weren't giving them anything new. And I have to be honest about it, we were trying so hard to be different, we even went into places to be different that we shouldn't have. We weren't fresh anymore." Since the book's release, multiple stories about events that almost had considerable impacts on the MCU have been making headlines, such as Robert Downey Jr. almost being cast as Doctor Doom and Joss Whedon wanting to cast Zooey Deschanel as the Wasp in the Avengers. Needless to say, if any one of these events would have played out like so, the landscape of the MCU would look drastically different than it does today. Since Spider-Man joined the MCU in 2016, the creative collaboration between Marvel and Sony continues to be a fruitful one. Despite a brief hiccup in late 2019, the two sides eventually extended their agreement. At the time, it was reported that the new contract allowed 2 more films for Holland's Spidey, one of them being Spider-Man: No Way Home, releasing on December 17. Venom: Let There Be Carnage featured a post-credit scene, which Feige says the two sides worked together on, that indicates that the other may be a team-up for Holland's Spider-Man and Tom Hardy's symbiote. Holland has said recently, though, that his Spider-Man contract ends after No Way Home, contradicting the previous 2-film report and making the future of the Spider-Man, Venom team-up unclear. Source: The Story of Marvel Studios, The Making of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.